ladies and gentlemen, to race number 8, season 3, and here we go then. So, for the French Grand Prix Western P20, it's 5 red lights, lights and away we go then from the grid, and off down into the first corner then, as you can see in the background then there. A bit of debris coming off one of the Toro Rosso cars. Not sure which one it is, a bit hard to tell, of course, as we all go skirting down into the left then right turn 4, as we now overtake ourselves. We're overtaking a Toro Rosso, the sister car, of course, for ourselves, and we get the job done. Then let's have a look further up the field, what's going on. Well, is that Carlos Sainz, car 55? Yes, it is. Then in the Alfa Romeo, I believe is somewhere off the lead. But look what's going on in front then here as we move to the front of the grid. Vettel versus the Williams. Not sure which one of the Williams. Think that could be maybe Devon Butler, if I'm correct. As Vettel now looking to blast away off into the race lead, as he is leading right now on lap 1. Can he win today's Grand Prix? You know, will he be able to win today's Grand Prix? That's the question. Let's go on board as we'll go then and watch Vettel here in the Alfa Romeo. So here we go on a lap then of Sebastian Vettel here. As we head towards turn 1, he flicks the car left into the first left-right-hander, then open up the car to take you down into turn 3. You treat this as a straight just to try and keep as smooth as possible. Flip the car into turn 3, flip the car left into turn 4, then flip the car once again right into turn 5, then through turn 6, once again treat it very smoothly, get smooth on the power like Vettel is doing right now, and just listen to then the Alfa Romeo roar. As we now blast down the back straight here in the France, down DRS straight. No, obviously DRS for those right now on lap 2. Obviously after race starts, obviously it takes 3 laps for the DRS to be active, as we now keep on board with Sebastian Vettel quickly here, who's leading the Grand Prix, of course, and followed very closely behind is the Williams driver. As we now go into lap number 3, or heading towards lap 3, as Vettel turns the car, quite nice. Bit sensitive, I think, right now, the Alfa looking on the front, but, you know, we'll soon see. Certainly looking a bit sensitive, I would say. Bit slidey, bit understeery. Especially when you compare it to Williams. Williams looking a little bit better, more stable on the front. Anyway, let's have a look. Obviously that's car number 71. Ain't we car number 71? Oh no, we're 72. I thought we were 71. That's interesting. Anyway, you can see us pounding the back of Lando Norris, that is, with the 2 Renaults lined astern, then a 4-cylinder meant Racing Point in front then of this little group of this midfield battle. We're gapping out to the 2 Toro Rossos and also to Kevin Magnussen, who's behind by a good now 3 or 4 seconds. Let's go back actually to these 2, as Albon, and I'm pretty sure it's who else is that? Not too sure. Let's have a quick look at the helmet. I presume that's Antonio Giovinazzi then in the Toro Rosso car, then obviously behind his teammate. Then as we now go, let's see what our own teammate's doing actually right now. As we're on the mediums right now, he's on the soft. So obviously my teammate's on the soft, and right now where is he in all of this? He is right now in P5, so P5 he is, obviously behind, I believe that's Carlos Sainz then here. So Carlos Sainz obviously up in front of him, as Carlos Sainz is on the back obviously of the Haas driver, who's in or occupying that third position. Obviously Sainz should want to get past ASAP, but there's a gap now beginning to form actually from Hamilton up to the obviously Williams driver of Butler. So a bit of a gap now emerged here as we go down the straight, and obviously Vettel now just pulling out also a little bit of a gap also to Devon Butler, as you can see there in the front of the field. Let's go back down the field, have a look what's going on down, as it looks like there's been a bit of a scrap here, and this is the group that we are in right now. So obviously Charles Leclerc, Verstappen all scrapping with the other Williams and the two Mercedes cars. So yeah, you know, a bit of a scrap going on right now between Bottas, I think it's Bottas if I'm correct, Verstappen, Russell and Raikkonen, so a bit of a, you know, scrap going on. Anyway, let's have a look what we're doing. Well, we've fallen a little bit off the pace here of the McLaren and of Lando Norris, but, you know, nonetheless, it's not that bad right now. We're still keeping our pace, which is fairly strong, especially considering where we are right now. As I think we're on now lap number 5, then we must be of this French Grand Prix, as you can see. Anyway, let's go a bit further back. Let's go a bit further up the field, sorry. I was going to say. And yeah, Carlos Sainz also formed the train here. Hamilton's now obviously down. But yeah, Carlos Sainz got a bit of a train, a 4-car train here of Sainz. But look at that Alfa Romeo car go. Literally untouchable without the DRS. Literally in a straight line. But look at Vettel, he's now starting to just stretch his legs as well. He's already got like a 3 or 4 second gap over then the Williams car, which is quite incredible then how Vettel's driving today. He's really on it. And yeah, if anyone wants to stop him, I think it's going to have to be from an attack within his teammate right now. It doesn't look like the Williams has got the pace anymore, and it doesn't look like Sainz has great pace either. But yeah, it will have to come from, I think, within. I don't think many could actually stop him. But already, then, the gaps are starting to emerge as we now ourselves, and in this group, still quite a bit of a train as we just scroll through the cars. And a bit of a gap now forming between Norris and Hulkenberg. Not much, I know it doesn't look like much, but a little bit of a gap, you can just see. And here we come then, on the attack. Open up the DRS. Can we go anywhere? But I think we're not close enough right now. Certainly not in this phase of Grand Prix, so we'll still follow for another lap then. Behind, obviously, the McLaren car. And yeah, there is a gap. Certainly a bigger gap between Norris and, obviously, I think it's Ricciardo then in the two Renaults. Certainly a bigger gap than there, I would have said, between them two cars. But here we go. We've got a good exit through there. Good run through the run of turn 5 and 6. Up the hill, power out turn 7. Can we open up the DRS? Of course we can, because we're in that DRS zone. But can we catch the McLaren? Not quite. So it looks like McLaren just got the legs on us on the straight. So we're going to have to work a bit harder to get past here, to get past the almighty orange McLaren then, as we battle on lap 5, well, probably on lap 7 or lap 8 now, we are. Anyway, we're gonna sort of jump forward to this higher end stuff, and yeah, obviously gaps now starting to form. Let's have a quick watch with Hamilton and obviously my teammate then here as we flick back through them. And obviously once again a bit of a train here between Sainz. Sainz hasn't really done much to close that gap. He's able to keep on front. You can just see how much straight line pace the actual cars have. Well, the Alphas just in a straight, they're unbelievably quick right now. Almost uncompetable. But yeah, it looks like obviously Sainz isn't pulling out much of a gap here. So Sainz has certainly been a bit slow during this race. I wouldn't have said he's fast, but you know, nonetheless. Anyway, as we move on here, in the later stages of this race now, so we're starting to move on. Obviously, gaps beginning to form, but it looked like Bottas has now opened up a bit of a gap. He's now at the front of this order. Can he go chase down the pack in front? Obviously, a bit of a gap, about 5 seconds I would have thought, between him and the next car. Anyway, ourselves, we've dropped back again a little bit from this group, so, you know, obviously that's not good. We need to get a bit closer. So, obviously, just letting you listen and see some of the pure gameplay, because sometimes it's nice just to, you know, have a bit of a breather and not talk for a little bit, and show some of the pure gameplay. But, anyway, we're now progressing further and further on in this race. As we now progress. And it looks like there's been a pit stop. I'm just going to rewind it just to see who was in. I think, by the looks of it, it was a Red Bull. It weren't myself, I know that. So let's have a look. It is a Red Bull. It is Lucas Weber in for his first stop. What tyres does he choose to go on? It is the mediums? No, sorry. It's the softs. So I don't know why there's a medium tyre there, but anyway, down the pit lane. How good was that stop quickly? I think it was pretty good. Yeah, that was good. So, good pit stop then there for Lucas Weber, who's oddly gone for this strategy. So that means he'll come out behind myself here, who we're battling right now, Lando Norris, and we're certainly now hustling Norris a bit more once again. Can we get past here on the straight? We go down the inside. We've been a little bit pushed off wide. We're going to hold our inside line. Can we now go down the inside? We're obviously going to have a DRS. So is Lando Norris. And we go round the outside then at turn number 7. But now it's just about holding on to this straight line. And can we just out-drag the McLaren? It looks like McLaren gone a little bit late on the brakes. Norris has. But we're sticking to that inside line. Then we come back and we've got the position. But will Norris come back at us? Yes, he will. And Norris instantly came back at us then there. Down the inside he goes. He goes a bit wide. We go obviously inside now. As we go to the inside line, we're going to drive round the inside. And that is a beautiful move then. As Norris will look to come back again then here. Down the inside again. But we hold on this time and defend our position then there. And we now have to try and chase down the cars in front, and there are now cars coming in for their stops. As we got Ferrari, Haas, pretty much all the cars in. We're gonna go now quickly on board to Sainz. I think Vettel's still leading. Yes, he is. So Vettel's certainly opened up now more of a gap. Let's have just a look how big that gap is. So it's actually quite big. Now I'd say it's around probably 10 or 11 seconds. It's got to be. As Sainz, you know, looking to, yeah, that's certainly around 10 seconds, I would have said. So, you know, Vettel's now opened up a bit of a gap then here. Maybe a little bit less, maybe 8 will go. But, you know, Vettel certainly opened up a bit of a gap anyway. It looked like, you know, Sainz, he does have good pace, but I don't think it's good enough to really go win this Grand Prix by the looks of it. It looks like he's just not there. You know, like he's half the driver right now of what Vettel's is right now. Anyway, so we're progressing on in this race. Obviously, pit stops have now been done. So we must be at least on lap 9, maybe lap 10 now. So we're only a few laps away from our stops. Anyway, so I'm going to actually fast forward here. And yeah, you know, if there's any more exciting action, I'll slow it down. But yeah, you know, obviously I don't think there was much, you know, as it was mainly following. But I did say we'd slow it down if there's any more. And there's actually a car behind us. It looks like to be Vettel I think, just come in for his stop. Let's go up front and check whether he has or he hasn't, just to confirm that. Yes, I think he has, because, yeah, he certainly has now. So Sainz is the race leader then here. Vettel's now come into the pits, and Vettel's now past Lando Norris. He's on the medium tyre then here, as we, you know, will obviously try and keep Vettel at bay then here. So Vettel, you know, obviously on faster tyre, but we're holding up Vettel just a little bit there then, so we didn't let Vettel through, and I'm not going to let Vettel through because we are racing for position right now. Okay, he's got certainly a lead on me, and yeah, you know, he's on the faster car, but here comes Sebastian Vettel. Can he go down the inside? He's got so much speed. He tries to go around the outside then there. Probably not the wisest of moves, but, you know, obviously, we're now battling then for the position then. We go defensive to the inside. Vettel will go try and do it around the outside. Can Vettel do it? Oh, he almost does it. We're going to now go around the outside. Can Vettel now also go around? So, very good battle actually. Quite clean and very, very good. Very sensible actually. But I'm pretty sure Vettel will come back now at me in that Alpha. He opens up the DRS now as we plough down the straight. Just look how much speed that Alpha car has. We've got no DRS. Even the McLaren will be on the back of us here, but nothing. We can't really defend against the almighty Ferrari powered Alfa Romeo, which is just too quick here for us. So, you know, obviously that's Vettel now. He will clear off, but what's going on here? It looks like Albon is getting overtaken by Antonio Giovinazzi, I believe that is. No, sorry, Giovinazzi overtaken by Albon. So obviously that's not good, but decent battle obviously. Where is my teammate? Let's see if we can find my teammate. So my teammate's obviously coming through this section here. So bit behind me obviously right now. About maybe 3 or 4 seconds, maybe I'd say 3 at most. So obviously we're riding on board as we obviously go on a lap, and the car didn't feel that bad. It felt actually quite good actually, the car today, but just slow, as if we can't do anything. Like, you know, we were only as fast as McLaren's then here. I'm gonna obviously advance forward. Let's quickly go on board with Vettel, go to a wider shot here. Hopefully they give us a good shot, and here comes Vettel then on the Racing Point car. Vettel goes to the outside, round the outside Vettel goes then here down into turn 8. He gets the move done obviously before turn 8, and that's Vettel now certainly on his way up into P1 again. So Vettel then leading the race once again, and you know, he's got a bit of a lead obviously over then his teammate. He's got a very good lead. He must be at least now, well, I would say 10 seconds ahead of the second place driver, which I think is Devon Butler right now. Then us, okay, we're fine with obviously the McLaren. Now obviously I believe we're on lap 12 now, because, you know, I think we're coming in this lap. Will we dart into the pits? Yes, we will. So in we come into the pit lane then here for our first stop of the day. So obviously we're going to see how good this pit stop is. Hopefully it will be a good one. Hopefully the team can, you know, pull out a decent stop. On goes fresh set of tyres. Yes, they can, and we're away almost immediately then there. So pretty good stop from the team. Now obviously that's good then. So we're going to obviously advance forward. If we see any more action, you know, then yeah, you know, we'll then view it. So here we go then. Carlos Sainz, I think Carlos Sainz made a move on Kevin Magnussen then here around the outside. Carlos Sainz will go. He gets again the job done quite nice and easily. Next up for him is Butler in the Williams then car. Obviously he's been trying to chase down that Williams all day. And you know, he's now obviously got a perfect opportunity to do so. He's not really got much pressure. Can now Hamilton also dispense of the McLaren car? But before we do that, we're going to go actually on, well, first we'll watch this, whether or not McLaren, he can dispense of the McLaren. Here we go then, can he do it? Can he go either around the outside, going down the outside into turn 1, can he go around the outside? He's on the medium tyres, Magnussen's on the hard, he'll hold on though, so he's got another opportunity obviously. It's just a question now of straight line pace. I think Hamilton's got the move done. just a question or not he can hang on. Can he hang on around the outside? He'll have the inside for the next corner, of course, where we don't come back out. Let's see. Here we are. So it looks like we've again stayed ahead of Lando Norris. So we can actually overtake our teammate so long we have a good few laps here, because our teammate's now more or less on the same strategy as us. Maybe he's gonna go for a different tyre strategy, but you know, obviously he's more or less on the same strategy as us, as he's lot up in front. So we need to have a good few laps here, but you know, obviously right now we're obviously not fighting too hard. We're just trying to focus on our own pace here. As Verstappen, can he go around the outside of Bottas? This would be incredible if he can. No, he can't, but you know, question is, who will get the DRS? It's Verstappen, as Verstappen now powers off past. But you know, don't count the Williams out. The Williams could come back here actually at the Ferrari, so long it can keep up in the corners and obviously have good straight line pace. So let's just see whether or not Bottas can get back at a Ferrari more or less instantly. Verstappen makes a lockup, so that's not helping Verstappen's case to stay in front here then. And we've got a waved green flag, so it must be a yellow prior to that, of course, to have a waved green flag. But anyway, no virtual safety car or no full course yellow yet, as Bottas will go around the outside then, and he gets the move done quite nice and clean. Let's quickly go view our race leader, how he is doing, and yeah, not really much to say then there, as obviously right now our teammate's second, but only a provisional second. He's yet to make his second stop, because remember, he went on to the softs in his last stop, and he started on the softs. So I think this is him in now. Yes, it is. So he's into the pits. Where will he rejoin? Let's stay on board with this, because this is now the question, whether or not he will rejoin in front of me or behind me. Obviously, I'm not too sure, of course. Then here we go. On goes fresh tyres. Out he goes again. Then here, and obviously, let's see. So he's coming down the pit lane. It must feel like an age. We can see us now in the background, so I think he may just rejoin. He's coming up. Now he can get the power down. Now he can start accelerating. Here we come. Is he in front? Yes, he is, but not by much, only by a few seconds then there. So about a second, I would say, or two would be splitting us two then there. Certainly not much between us, but can we actually now capitalise on this? We're just going to speed up the play to see whether we can or we can't, but it looked like I don't think we can. He's on the medium, so in theory he should have a faster tyre anyway, to hold us at bay. But you know, obviously Hamilton, I think that's Hamilton, no sorry, Perez, struggling here actually, or sorry, Grosjean, or is it Perez? No, Perez. So Perez struggling here a little bit, then obviously holding up Charles Leclerc and holding up this train of drivers. Obviously here comes Verstappen once again on Valtteri Bottas. And can he go around the outside? No, he can't. So Valtteri Bottas manages to hold off. But let's not forget, obviously, DRS zone here, quite long and could be quite effective. But obviously, also got a battle up in front. That's Hamilton then fighting with the Force India, or I meant Racing Point car. I think that's Lance Stroll. Let's see, let's go on board. Let's see if he can get the job done. And let's see, so here comes then Lewis Hamilton. He's going to go to the outside. The Force Racing Point going to defend the inside line, but it's not enough. Verstappen's also got in front of then Valtteri Bottas, but another lockup then on that tyre. So he's really struggling in his braking then here. Same we see quite often in real life, but Vettel's just gone. Vettel has destroyed everyone. I'm sorry. He's really gone. There's no catching Vettel today, I don't think. As we see, I think that's Devon Butler, you know, just also getting chased down then by the Hart and by the Alfa Romeo driver. I say there's probably another 2 or 3 laps and they'll be right close together then there. But again, another opportunity for then the, you know, Racing Point driver to get back in front of Lewis Hamilton. And is it me, or is that gap between Verstappen, Bottas, Hamilton ever closing. It does look like it, doesn't it, in my opinion. But, you know, obviously Verstappen are hot on the heels of then Bottas, and obviously right now I think, not too sure, I think that's Lance Stroll hot on the heels of, no, car 10, that must be Grosjean then, I think, if I'm correct. Or is that Gasly hot on the heels of Lewis Hamilton then here, and yeah, Lewis Hamilton keeping then that car at bay another time. But it is an interesting battle between then it's Bottas and Verstappen, obviously, and yeah, you know, that's quite interesting. But no cigar for Verstappen, who obviously tried then, and no cigar for, you know, either car behind. But it looked like, I think, Perez now starting to also gap now a little bit here as well. So gaps starting to emerge. Where are we actually in all this mix? Right, we are behind Norris. So Norris must have got through at some point then here. And we go to the inside. I felt, you know, obviously there, you know, if we didn't do that, we would have been taken out. And are we going to come in? No, we're not. Now, I did make a pit stop, okay, because at this moment in time, look, the gap up in front was too big. We're not going to close that down, I felt. And I felt like our pace overall weren't that great. So I decided to make a second stop then here. To try and go get fastest lap. We overtake. I think this is lap where we come in now. Yes, it is. So, oh no, it ain't. Sorry. I thought it was. But you know, as I say, I decided, you know, enough's enough. You know, we're not going to be able to, you know, get points. So the only thing I could think of is let's try and take a point away from someone. And unfortunately, it was Vettel who we did manage to take the point away. We're in now, there we go, in the pits. So at this moment, I didn't really care. Fit on a set of soft tyres, as you can see, and away we go then on our mission for fastest lap then here in the Red Bull car. And, you know, obviously, then look how many cars. How many is that? Into one corner. Have they gone mental? The AI's gone mental. 4 cars trying it into one corner. Absolutely insane stuff then there. Obviously not the wisest of ideas, don't get me wrong. But yeah, you know, quite insane. As look at Kimi Raikkonen battling then here. And these Mercedes really causing a bit of mayhem then here today. Then let's go a bit up in front. Let's see what's going on. So once again, it looks like to me Bottas is still behind, stuck then there. Let's go up towards then these lots. So it looked like Sainz and the Williams have done a bit of a job swap, or a position swap should I say. And Vettel is just cruising, ain't he? He's literally absolutely cruising right now. To this race victory then here. Let's see what we're doing though, down the further back of the order now, quickly. I hope you're sort of enjoying this format, and we've now just set up now and away on our fastest lap then, and we go through turns 1, 2, hook it up through turn 3 and 4, then just try and keep car as smooth as possible, and you know, pretty good through there, quite nice and aggressive then. And honestly, when a car, you know, is on a flying lap, especially like this, it really, really is impressive. Like, just the level of grips you have usually, you know, just ain't really, really impressive. And it impresses me all the time, you know, this type of stuff. But anyway, we're going into now that middle sector, and didn't have a great exit actually off here. In fact, this final sector was a bit scruffy, but we did manage to clock the fastest time of the day with a 1 minute 31.4. However, you know, it proved not to be necessarily quick enough, as you'll soon find out in a minute. But anyway, into the final part of the lap, and you can just see what I mean by it's a bit scruffy. And across the line we go. That's the fastest lap then of the day. We saw just go for a second run here at it again, then just to see whether or not we can improve. And we improved in the final sector, and we did the quickest final sector then again. Didn't do as quick of the first sector, we were only about 10th off here, and we were about 5 or 6 tenths off in that middle sector. So, you know, obviously weren't as good of a lap, as you can see. We're still pushing though. But next up, Giovinazzi, and you can just see Vettel closing in on Giovinazzi actually. There you go. And wow, look at that gap between himself and his teammate. And yeah, he's now gapping, you can certainly tell, obviously, there. So Sainz has pulled out a pretty impressive gap in clean air then here. Now, obviously, here goes, I think that, as I said, is Gasly then on Hamilton. Can Gasly go around the outside? But it looked like now gaps are starting to emerge as we now entering these final like 5 or 6 laps here then in the race. Butler is not sure, sorry, where my teammate is. He's in P10, so, you know, he'd be picking up a point right now for the Red Bull team. Not much though, not enough really. It doesn't really heal the wounds. And yeah, we obviously just continuing on our lap then here. So yeah, you know, I think this was again the lap we decided to pit. So because Vettel sort of took away our fastest lap, so weren't really much we could do about that apart from I decided to pit again. I decided, you know, time to come in, and yeah, you know, I think we just felt, you know, obviously I wanted to sort of prevent Vettel or prevent whoever it was getting that fastest lap, and in we come, as you can see. Did pick up a speeding in pit lane penalty actually of 5 seconds, but oh well, I don't really care about that. And on goes another fresh set of them soft tyres as we now look to just consolidate this fastest lap and make sure no one else can get the fastest lap off us then, as obviously Vettel gonna have DRS. Probably this what gave him the fastest lap actually, was that DRS, you know, there, actually kind of think of it. Now you can see he's got a very good DRS. Let's actually see how he got this fastest lap then here, because I would have thought it must have been the DRS, but he's 7 tenths down on his delta right now, so no, it must be somewhere else. He's certainly having a decent middle sector. I don't know, I don't really understand how he got that fastest lap. Yeah, he's 7 tenths down, but nonetheless, you know, it don't matter how he got it, still got it. As he now goes on to lap 27, obviously his teammates some distance behind, as we now see, I think it's Bottas. Is it Bottas? To make sure, no, it ain't Bottas, sorry. But nonetheless, still, Bottas right now chasing down his former teammate Hamilton, as we now also carry around. So let's just see where some of these guys are going to finish. So yeah, it looked like my teammate finishing a bit further down the order. Anyway, we're going to find us just to show you how we did our fastest lap, and I don't know whether we're now actually on it, our fastest lap. I think we are, we're on that hot lap. Pretty sure if we're on lap 26 we're on that hot lap. Yeah, we are. So here we go then. So as you can see, literally just hot lapping here, and I think we just took a lot of curb there, maybe a bit too much, but even then we did get fastest lap by quite some margin. I don't think that would have gained us too much, maybe a tenth or two, yes, but it didn't gain us 5 tenths or half a second. The lap in general was pretty solid. Again, final sector, I weren't entirely happy with it. I think we could have improved more, but you know, it was okay, it weren't bad. But yeah, you know, we just didn't have pace today, that's the simple fact. You know, and we come into this final now corner then here, and we obviously come around the final bend and cross the line, take choice run to the line just to confirm that fastest lap. And there we go, that's the end of our race then there. So yeah, it wasn't a bad race, it was actually pretty good, some decent scraps overall, but you know, no real result then at the end of it. And yeah, I'm not too sure who got that final podium, I think it was Bottas actually, but yeah, Vettel claims a quite historic win, and Sainz isn't even carrying around the final corner yet. So yeah, that's how it ended up then there. So we did actually a sorry, did we get fastest lap? How come we didn't get fastest lap? I did a quicker time than that. Oh yeah, we did, sorry. We got a phase 4. whereas Vettel was in 31s then there. So yeah, you know, look at the gap though between Sainz and Vettel, 24 seconds. Vettel absolutely demolished Sainz today. In terms of championship, how that affects things, well, we're still in 9th. You know, overall it's not good. And yeah, hopefully next time or next race will be a little bit more solid for us. But yeah, you know, obviously Alfa Romeo really running away with it, and once again it's Vettel on top. So they're going for that 7th championship then, obviously win. He's already won 2 championships in this career mode, so he's already a 6-time champion. More than actually Hamilton. Hamilton's still a 5-time champion. He hasn't even won a championship yet in this championship, so
I told you, if you carried on as you were and you didn't start putting in the kind of performances the team expected, you were going to lose your drive.
Breaking news, we've been fired.
Today, you are no longer an employee of this organisation.
So we've just been let go.
Competent. I found you an option elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I suggest you take it if you want any hope of salvaging this so-called career of yours.
So we've been let go. And I'm not going back
Maybe there are better options elsewhere.
Them. I'm gonna try and join Alfa Romeo. I really am. I might as well. So I've now joined Alfa Romeo. I don't think we deserve to have been let go there. Compared to Lucas Weber, we were doing an okay job. And yeah, I honestly don't think we deserve to have been let go there. So yeah, you know, obviously we'll join the Alfa Romeo team. Hopefully Vettel will be our teammate. I think he should be our teammate, considering he's got the most wins and the most points. But, you know, obviously, I know you could argue that's a, you know, glory hunt or a way of trying to just go to the top team. But, you know, I don't think we deserve to be let go. The car's been very difficult to handle. You know, and Vettel is our teammate.
Alfa Romeo Racing is the kind of team that other privateers aspire to be. No matter the challenges they face, this is a team that rises to the occasion and makes it out the other side.
Absolutely
they need someone who can be consistent, resilient, and determined. There's no doubt in my mind.
I see now why that car is so good. It's unbeatable. That is what it is. It's an unbeatable car. Yeah. So we're gonna obviously take a few new components this weekend. Do we need a new gearbox? Probably. I'm gonna just take one for the sake of it. And yeah, so thank you for watching. That's the end of today's video. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a like. See you all next time for another video of F1